Some Christmas miracles arrive with music and light. Others arrive in silence, stitched together by memory, kindness, and a single forgotten blanket. Christmas Eve settles softly on Martha's house. There's no music, no visitors, no rush of last-minute preparations, just the steady ticking of the clock and a kettle slowly warming a single cup of tea. Outside her window, the world glows. Festive lights twinkle in neighboring windows, and the faint sound of laughter drifts through the cold, crisp air. Inside, Martha sits wrapped in a profound stillness. She doesn't feel bitterness, not anymore. Just a deep sense of absence. Christmas hadn't become this quiet overnight. It had slowly faded, one goodbye at a time, until the echoes of laughter and joy were replaced by silence. And tonight, it's just her. In the corner of her living room, almost hidden in the dim light, sits a small wooden chest. She hasn't opened it in years. But tonight, something pulls her toward it. Lifting the heavy lid, the scent of cedar and thyme fills the air. And there it is. A blanket. Handwear upon, its colors once vibrant, now softened by the years. It's incredibly soft to the touch, almost like a whisper against her skin. Martha runs her fingers over the intricate stitches. Each loop, each knot, carries a name she hasn't spoken aloud in years. Eleanor. A friend from a lifetime ago. The kind of friend that feels permanent, like a part of your own story, until life proves otherwise. They had been inseparable, sharing secrets, dreams, and countless cups of tea, just like the one warming on her stove. This blanket was meant to be a Christmas gift for Eleanor, for her first baby. Martha had poured weeks of love into it, imagining the child wrapped in its warmth. But life, as it often does, intervened. A sudden move, a lost letter, a missed phone call. The gift was never sent. Time passed, addresses changed, and a silence grew between them, heavy and unspoken. The blanket stayed behind Dot, waiting. Tonight, looking at it, Martha feels a shift, a quiet resolve. She carefully folds the soft wool, the weight of memory in her hands. She doesn't fully understand why she's doing it. Perhaps she's just tired of holding on to something so beautiful yet so unfinished. She places the blanket into a simple tote bag and pulls on her coat. She steps out into the biting cold, telling herself it's just for a walk. Just to breathe some fresh air. The snow crunches softly beneath her shoes, the only sound in the peaceful night. Streetlights cast long, golden shadows on the white ground. As she walks without a destination, she passes a small, unassuming apartment building. The windows are dark, except for one on the ground floor, where a dim light flickers. And then she hears it. The unmistakable sound of a baby crying. A thin, desperate wail that seems to cut right through the cold air. It speaks of exhaustion, of a distress that feels too big for such a small being. She pauses, her hand tightening on the bag. In that moment, for the first time all night, Christmas speaks back to her. She finds herself moving toward the sound, toward that dimly lit window. She could almost feel the chill seeping through the thin walls. Inside that apartment lives Anna. Young, exhausted, and frightened. With her partner, she's navigating the overwhelming reality of being a new parent, with barely enough to get by. The joy of their new baby is tangled with the constant worry of keeping him warm, fed, and safe. The cold is their biggest enemy. Martha stands at the door for a long moment. Her heart beats a little faster. This feels right. She raises her hand and knocks, a gentle, hesitant tap. The crying inside stops for a second, then resumes. The door opens a crack, and a tired, weary face peers out. It's Anna. Martha doesn't offer explanations. There are no long speeches about her past or her loneliness. She simply holds out the tote bag, revealing the soft, wear-upon blanket inside. Her voice is quiet, but steady. It was made with love, she says simply. I think it's meant to be used. Anna stares first at Martha, then at the blanket. She doesn't know what to say. She takes it, her fingers brushing against Martha's. The wool is warm, even in the cold night. As Anna turns back inside, she wraps the blanket around her crying baby. Almost instantly, the wailing softens, replaced by a contented sigh. The tiny room seems to warm up, not just from the wool, but from the unspoken gesture. Something invisible, yet powerful, shifts in the air. This wasn't charity. It was something more profound. It was a transfer of care from one heart to another, across generations. Martha turns and walks away before the stammered thanks can turn into an obligation. She doesn't need gratitude. She just needed the blanket to fulfill its purpose. Walking back home, the snow still crunches under her feet, but the sound is different now. More hopeful. The houses she passes seem to glow a little brighter. When she steps back into her own quiet home, the stillness feels different. It's not empty anymore. It feels lighter. The absence has been filled, not with noise, but with peace. Across town, in that small apartment, Anna and her partner wrapped their baby snugly in the soft, faded blanket. They don't know its history. They don't know about Martha or Eleanor or a friendship from long ago. But they feel it. They feel the warmth, the care, the love that was stitched into every single thread. They feel that they are not entirely alone in their struggle. Care travels through hands. Love doesn't need a context to be understood. Weeks later, after the Christmas lights have been taken down and the new year has settled in, there's another knock on Martha's door. It's a small, white envelope. She opens it to find a simple card. Inside is a photograph of a smiling, healthy baby bundled in a familiar wear-upon blanket. Beneath it, a message is written in careful, neat handwriting. You didn't just keep our baby warm. You reminded us we weren't alone. Thank you. Martha sits in her favorite chair, the photograph in her hand. The quiet ticking of the clock fills the room. And for the first time in a very long time, tears well up in her eyes. But these are not tears of sadness or loneliness. They are tears of release, of a circle finally completed. The blanket didn't go missing. It didn't get lost. It just took a little longer to find its way home. Some of the most powerful miracles don't arrive with a thunderous announcement. They arrive gently on a quiet night, through hands that are willing to let go, and hearts that are brave enough to give without expecting anything in return. If this story touched your heart, don't just scroll away, share it, because you never know who might need to feel that little spark of light today. Thanks for watching.